Hello, welcome back for our next episode of Animus Violentas. I'm excited for tonight to see what new chaos this group gets into. You may have seen the tweet that I sent out earlier. We hadn't even started yet, and we're already coming up with stuff like Skeeter's wine cruise and other forms of chaos. It's going to be a lot of fun. Before we jump into all of that, though, I'm going to say a few words about our sponsors, which I'm going to throw into chat here. Let everybody introduce themselves, then we'll jump in. So our sponsors are Fundamental RPG. That's the system that this game runs on. It is a simple D20 system that's not tied to any genre, so you can use it to play any style of game, like sci-fi, obviously, or high fantasy, or really anything in between those. You can pick up the physical copy on Amazon, or if you prefer a digital version, you can get that at coffee.com/raven, like it's spelled at the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. Also, thank you to Die Hard Dice. It's another one of our sponsors. You can check their stuff out at dieharddice.com. If you use the code Animus with a capital A, you can get 10% off of your entire order. And then I also highly recommend checking out, there's a link straight to it in chat. I don't know if you can see it super well on the camera, but the Luminous Chrome set is a recent addition to my dice bag that they sent over. And they've got these swirly, glittery sort of nebulas inside of these clear dice. They're very, very satisfying to roll because the light picks up on the glitter and it's all sparkly. I really like it. Highly recommend checking it out. My set's also been rolling really well for me lately, so that's been a bonus. But again, you can check their stuff out at dieharddice.com, and the code Animus with a capital A will get you 10% off of your entire order. And then if you want to catch up on this show or any others that we have on the channel, you can do so at the Fantasy Network at watch.thefantasy.network. With those introductions done, let's hop over to our cast introductions. We'll start with the top left with B. Tell us a little bit about New Skeeter and yourself. I think you're still muted there. Still muted.
I don't understand how mute buttons work. That's the extent. That's all you really need. Yeah, ultimately, that's all you need to know about me. They confuse and enrage me. I help run the Neon Devils RP server, and we just put up our first couple of things on the Neon Devils comic on Webtoons. I'm going to have a link posted in an amount of time. New Skeeter is basically a very well-meaning, slightly racist, against organics, redneck computer virus. That's pretty much Skeeter right there.
That's not an inaccurate description, you're right.
Yeah.
Awesome. We'll hop over next to V, as in Vanessa. Tell us a little bit about Alice and yourself.
That just gives me vibes of working with my job. Sometimes we have to give people codes. So it's like V, like Victor.
Yeah.
That's what I spend my days doing. Technically, my job is a glorified tech support. So perhaps life does imitate art with me and my characters. Hi, I'm V, or Vanessa. I am an artist. I work primarily in pencil sketch and watercolor, but I also do a little bit of digital art as well. And I recently just got a brand new drawing program, which I have spent, oh goodness, the better part of the last 6 hours messing around with. I'm super excited to get back into drawing with digital.
And also squealing about. You've been squealing in joy over it as well.
Yes, that too. All my little updates go into the server. I'm like, look how cool these brushes are. But yes, so I am an artist. You can check out my stuff. I have an art Twitter, which is at Peppero Draws. That's Peppero like the candy, just under my name card there. And I play Alistair, and he is, I don't know, what's the best way to, I'm so used to describing Annie that I can't do that for Alice anymore. I have that spiel ready for Annie. Alice works in underground moving of information, I guess, which is just a nice way to say that he likes to stick his nose where it doesn't belong. and make big corporations mad about it. So he'll steal information where Annie kind of steals the information from big corporations and sells it. Alice isn't so motivated by money. He just wants to expose people for the shitty things that they're doing. So he'll gather as much information as he can and send it off to people like the Trash Pandas, who will put these companies on absolute blast. And why work for money when you can just work for the absolute shit-eating joy of seeing big corps have their dirty laundry aired? So that's what he loves to do. He's here with this crew. He's not sure how he got there, but he's here now, and it's a nice little detour from kind of hiding away and doing what he usually does. So he gets to be out and about this time. But yeah, that's me and Alice.
Awesome. Next, we've got Par. Tell us a little bit about Maximilian and yourself.
Hi. I'm Par. I'm just due to shows up occasionally on the internet. I play Maximilian Emil, who is Wine Dad and sort of a former middle manager for Evil Incorporated. Now on his retirement, just traveling and enjoying wine.
All right. Next, we've got Econorlax. Tell us a little bit about Android McGee and yourself.
Hello, I'm Econorlax and I play TTRPGs with whoever of the wonderful people of Twitch will have me. Between games, if my disability lets me, I tinker a little with various things in the internet and beyond. Maybe someday something will come out of this tinkering. And I'm playing an on-board android of this yet unnamed ex-GPF ship. I'm named Skitter. Captain Skitter has given me a name of Android McGee and has uninstalled some less important stuff relating to police work, so my heuristic algorithms are raring to go to fill all that empty room with new data, new optimized approaches to solving problems like making coffee to hangover crew, and such. Also, I'm on a quest to find purpose to my existence, and so far my only progress in this area has been a conversation with the Reverend, who pretty much told me, while explaining what angle is, that I should not be looking for purpose in... I should not be asking this of him in particular.
I mean, that's fair. All right. Next, we've got Goody. Tell us a little bit about, speaking of, the Reverend Ambrose and yourself.
I'm Goody. I show up in games. I'm also in Animus Absentis, where I play an android there, but a very different android. But I play the Reverend Ambrose Rivera, and yeah, he is, some might call him a charismatic leader. Others would probably call him more appropriately a co-leader. That's fine. And he runs a cult and is always looking for ways to work things into his favor. And if there's a problem, he'll throw money at it. So yeah.
All right.
He's not really a good guy. Not really a good guy.
Really not.
Really not.
Oh, goodness. That just leaves me. I'm Raven. I'm the creative director for the Raven Evermore, which is my brand for all the various things that I do, many of which are tabletop related. My link tree is there in chat, or if you can't see chat, it's linktr.ee/theraven, like it's spelled below my face. And I play everybody else in the galaxy. Yeah, last week, last session, we had not so much a breakout as a bailing out of New Skeeter and Alistair from a prison on Craigsylvania, one of the small nation states within the Stellar Confederacy, which is essentially the section of space in this setting where all the nation states of Earth kind of said, we're gonna go make our own place without the corporations, but not in a like great way. So they're actually, those planets are actually, surprisingly, if you can believe it, a little bit worse than the capitalistic dystopia of the corporate sector. So yeah, Craigsylvania is one of those factions. You are on the planet of Craigsylvania. In Craigsylvania City, they have a very strong theme to their naming scheme for things. And yeah, we're actually gonna rewind a little bit so that we can kind of catch up with Alice and New Skeeter with what happened after they were arrested. So we do know that they were bailed out by the Reverend and our android here, but we don't really know what exactly happened while they were in the prison cell. So for New Skeeter and Alice, you were arrested. They charged you with stealing the shuttle that you took from, with permission, from the compound, and for vandalizing vending machines, where New Skeeter ate the code out of them. And they've transported you to a holding cell, initially putting you two in the same cell. So that's sort of what's happened. That's our setting. The bars are thin enough that Skeeter can't just slip through. So what are the two of you doing in there?
Alice is not too pressed about being here. He doesn't seem to really have any sort of worry about it. He doesn't have any really adverse reaction to it. He's just kind of going with it.
Do they have a wireless network that I can sense?
They do.
Okay, I'm gonna try to get into it.
All right. Let's go with a... Let me pull up a character sheet here. I can remind myself what all the skills are. Alright, so you're trying to hack into the wireless network. It's definitely going to be a engineering tech role for that one.
Okay.
So with an 11, you are able to sort of see it, but you're not able to connect. It's password protected, and you don't have the password, at hand.
Yeah.
As a reminder, currently we have Skeeter, Max, Ambrose, and Android with advantages. That is all the buffs on the board, so you do have an advantage if you would like to use it here.
This seems like an incredibly petty thing to use an advantage for. But I feel like as I'm getting back into that New Skeeter mindset, being real petty is kind of just one of those things that he's pretty good at. So I'm gonna make that happen. We're gonna we're gonna use that advantage there. See what I got. See, that's a much better thing. I'm really glad I did that.
Fantastic. Yeah, you are able to see the network, and it's not all that secured, surprisingly, so you're able to hack into it and get access to their wireless network.
Okay. I am going to just shed copies of my code throughout their entire system.
Okay.
Just corrupt the entire thing as much as possible. Just leave them to burrow like them little bugs would eat the organics, them little ones. I mean, here they're crunchy. Well, they're cooking crunchy.
Are
Otherwise,
you
you serve
referring to
squishy.
children?
That's entirely possible. I mean, they'll kind of like. I mean, now, I mean this with all the love in my heart, but a lot of times they all kind of blur together for me. I mean,
Okay. Is there anything specific that you want these copies to do?
I want them to basically hide themselves and then just start wrecking things. Just attacking any anything in there. Like basically a delayed cyber attack.
Okay. So like deleting files.
Deleting files, making extraneous making corrupted copies, and then deleting the originals, and just
Okay.
You know those things that you can get and put on your computer, and technically you're not supposed to do it because it's weird, but the little characters that go on the bottom of the screen and follow your mouse and try to steal your stuff.
Yeah.
They're just those, but in the shape of tiny skeeters.
Yes, I love it.
Okay.
That also are slowly blue screening the entire network.
Okay. Yeah. You can do that. It'll take a while, but
I got time.
That sounds
I have literally
like
nothing to do.
what you want it to do. So, all right. You are successful in that. What else happens while you're in this cell?
Well, how you doing? How you doing? Having a good time? So, see, they got one of them turlets here. You
Is this Skeeter's way of trying to make small talk? Just nice
Yes.
toilet there.
well, no, look, they got a turlet. You use them turlets, don't you? I mean, that's a thing you do, right? I mean, that's why they in every room. Because if not, I have some very, very important questions to ask.
Alice looks like he is actively trying not to bust along at this line of questioning. He thinks it's the absolute funniest shit. But he's also trying to be nice because he feels like Skeeter's genuinely trying to make some sort of small talk. So he's just yeah, toilet. Mm-hmm. Yep, we do use those, in fact.
I know it. I figured because I mean they're in everything, about every 100 feet. Why do you need that many turlets?
Alice is very certain that there is not that many toilets that Skeeter is seeing everywhere, just in public places.
Do I need to show you a map of all the turlets? Because I will.
You know what, Skeeter? No, I will take your word for it. Definitely lots of toilets.
As a side task, I'm now searching for every possible toilet in a mile radius to see, looking at architecture, blueprints, little maps for fire escape routes, the whole thing. I'm just. That's a lot of turlets.
Well, you know what, Skeeter? There are a lot of people, generally.
Yes. There's still a lot of turlets, real condensed. I mean, what? You can't just walk? I mean, you got legs. I mean, well, it's a goodly portion of you got legs. I think.
You know what? That's very valid and true. But you also have to understand that human beings, in general, don't just walk into each other's houses or places of residence to make use of toilets. So
then what's
generally,
the point?
Well, you see, in fact, people have ownership of their own houses, and they don't typically like it when other people just barge into their space. So everybody has their own.
Well,
toilet.
I mean, no. But what if they knock? What if they're all proper and hospitable at?
Also a very good question. However, People also generally don't respond well to strangers using their toilets. I know listen, I know it sounds weird. I get it.
I'm just saying, a stranger is a friend that you ain't set fire to.
Yet. But no, I do see where you're coming from. Listen, the moral of the story is people in general like to own their own things. And toilets are high on that list.
And that's why there's a toilet in the room. Because of ownership?
Well, I mean, a jail toilet is a little bit different. Considering people are coming and going. There are a lot of rules surrounding toilets.
People are coming going out of them houses that you talked about before. Like, that's...
Yes, but generally people come back to their houses. The point is to not come back to jail.
I mean, according to the series of arrest records I'm currently looking at, there's a lot of people coming back here quite often. So I'm not quite sure I follow.
Alice seems to give some genuine thought to this. he's like, how can I, explain this properly to this tiny bug? But eventually he just settles on, no, you're right. The toilet situation is very weird. There's a lot of nuance to it. People are strange. Organics, am I right?
Yeah, I'm serious. I mean, I know you wanted the good ones. That's fine. But it's not like I want to yeah. It's just confusing. I mean, turlets, really?
Alice just nods, and he's clearly trying not to laugh again.
Hey,
anything else with the toilets there, Skater? You have any more questions?
Yeah, I just need some emotional support that I was not completely insane with my confusion regarding the toilet.
Ah, yes. Okay. Well, yes, the toilet situation is a situation. I can agree. Yeah. So jail's weird. I mean, it's not actually all that different from things what I've done before, but I can't move it. I mean, just sitting kind of in a box, that's not uncommon for me, but usually I can move it around with my mind, and it's less so, a little bit. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to wait a little while until somebody realizes that we're not there anymore. But I'm sure they'll find us.
That seems fair. We really ought to get me some sort of tiny radio.
That would kind of pass the time. I wonder if they have any radios here.
Well, allow me, good sir, to do a quick check of their inventory.
They do, in fact, have quite a lot of walkie-talkie style radios.
All right.
They're in a room not too far away from where you are.
Well,
sort of like a gear up room for all the guards.
All right. In case there's more sound than I think there's going to be, why don't you start coughing or something? I'm gonna wander under somewhere on like a little bench or something. I'm gonna wander under it. I'm gonna whip up a little cutting torch. And I'm just gonna one of the bars out of the way so I can hop through it.
Alice does indeed start coughing, and he tries to make it sound, decent enough to cover the noise, but not too much that it would call for, is that man dying in our cell? Should we go check on him? Somewhere in a middle ground.
Okay, so I need 2 rolls here then. I need a blend-in roll for Alice, and I need a mech engineering roll for New Skeeter.
Right. Ooh!
Oh my god. Why am I rolling poorly right off the bat?
What's your modifier for mechanical engineering, and is it different from tech?
Mechanical engineering. Sorry.
That's okay. You can keep that
Well,
roll.
they're exactly the same.
Okay.
Same amount, same stat. It's
Perfect.
They're both at a +7, so
we'll stick with that roll then. So 26. Yeah, you cut that bar off, no problem whatsoever.
able to make into a little hat,
Yeah.
little stovetop hat.
Wait a second. Hold on. Let me check something.
I was gonna say Alice, on the other hand. ...
Yeah. Let me see. I think I took charismatic, which would let me reroll. I do. I have charismatic, which lets me
Nice.
reroll a presence roll. So I'm going to do that again. It does not matter.
Oh no.
Bad test.
Oh, that's rough, buddy. Yeah. So with a 13. With a 13, you're trying to act like you're not dying, but unfortunately, and kind of surprisingly, you're really kind of bad at acting with the sick thing. So
Is this how Skeeter ends up in a box?
yeah. So you're trying to not sound like you're dying, but you sound like you're hacking up a lung. And so, or maybe it's that you, in trying to pretend like you're coughing, like you choke on your own spit, then you start genuinely coughing really loud. Something like that happens, and one of the officers there that works in the office comes running in to check on you and sees little new Skeeter, crawling across the floor.
Meanwhile, Alice, who is genuinely like choking, he's like he's bent over a little bit with like his one elbow on his knee, and he's just holding up the other hand, trying to assure the guard that he's not dying while he sounds like he's dying.
Perfect. So yeah, Skeeter, you get caught. They grab you and throw you into a filing box.
Yeah, I'm just gonna act like a wind-up toy.
All right. Yeah, they
Really
throw
offensive wind-up toy. Like I'm gonna act like when you press the button, I say insulting things.
Okay. But yeah, they throw you in a box and put you in the evidence locker, and then eventually, your friends come and save you. Unless there's anything else that you want to do before you leave the station.
Nah,
I think in the meantime as well, Alice was just talking to Skeeter in the locker from his place in the.
Just calling across
cell.
the hall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're a bit echoey, but this isn't nearly as bad as I thought it was. It's kind of cozy.
Yeah, you're real popular there in the station. They really love this. She said sarcastically.
Well, I think they're about to have some really more significant problems.
Yeah. There's definitely a lot of problems at that office after you all have left. Interestingly enough, your court date's gone, as is the arrest record.
Hey, what do you know? I guess we were innocent the whole time.
Yup. Those vending machines hacked themselves open and did things. It's the weirdest thing. But yeah, now you're setting off. You've got the ship painted in the style of a 1980s van with the fantasy mural, and you're pretty much all set. I assume you're heading back to corporate space at this point.
Yeah, I figure we don't really have it anywhere else to go, so yeah.
Yeah, probably. I mean,
We're
our
not-
ship is all disguised, so.
Yeah, we're not worried about the transponder or the paint job giving us away. So.
Yeah. And generally, it's not a great idea to stick around in the stellar sector. So.
Yeah.
All right. Where to? You are welcome to look for information to help you decide where you want to go, or if you have a place in mind. But you do have a ship with a full tank of gas.
I got nothing. I have no idea.
All right. Would anyone like to look at the news or anything like that?
I think
Reverend,
Alice is
yeah.
probably also keeping tabs on whatever
Yeah,
information's flown around.
I think New Skeeter would almost definitely have a series of alerts to set to keywords.
Okay.
Usually more like synthetic rights stuff, or things about monster trucks, that sort of stuff.
Okay. Yeah. Oddly enough, both things ping for you in the same location. There is a big monster truck rally happening in one of the smaller. Actually, it's not the best way to describe it. It's one of the larger towns on Mars, but it's still small compared to most places that most everyone's been to.
Okay.
And there's also news how Vizco is getting a leg up in the war because of their new combat androids, which seem to be manufactured or at least shipping out of Mars.
Well, that seems...
No.
Well, we got some monster trucks, though, so at least that part will be fun. The rest, probably
Thanks.
less so, but...
I hate it.
I hate it too.
I was just saying, Goody and Vito want to know what this is from Absentis.
I hate it so much.
This is a pain in the ass, is what this is.
Yeah, it is.
all I know is the word monster truck was used. That is the only thing of any importance to the rest of that set. That idea is there is monster trucks involved.
So is Skeeter taking us to Mars, or what's happening?
I mean, unless anybody has a different idea or is willing to stop him, yes, we are going to Mars where there are monster trucks.
It's also like a monster truck demolition derby, so
Oh my God.
even better.
Oh, sweet baby Jesus! Oh boy!
So they're all modded and stuff and look really cool.
What kind of
Well,
news?
that's happening.
What kind of news would Alice and Reverend be interested in?
The Reverend would be interested in economic news mostly because I'm sure he has investments
Okay.
of varying legality. But he's also interested in, like, what wasp's nest is getting poked at right now, and how are the wasps responding, and things like that.
Okay. In economic news, Vizco is selling the future equivalent of NFTs, so you can own your very own android soldier. That's been a really big hit with the corporate bigwigs as they get to keep track of their soldier and see how long it survives, and it's really as awful as it sounds.
Fantasy League of Cyber Warfare.
How much are they?
Damn it.
You can't tell me it's something terrible and not have
I
the
mean,
Reverend be
that's
interested.
fair. I walked right into that one. Let's say they're like 10,000 each.
Here's the question: do you want to buy it and then have it emancipated by Skeeter? That's a lot of money to just flush down the drain.
Yeah. Which,
well-
if as was pointed out earlier, if you and Maximilian are both on board for this, since you both have wealthy, you can get one for 5,000.
True. Well, here's the thing.
I can't remember how many credits you have right now.
I don't think I ever gave myself an amount.
Okay.
I'm just rich. That's all I know. But knowing what I, player, know about these androids, that are being sold, I would think that the Reverend would be interested in more like, so what can I do with this?
Okay. I will say, in character knowledge, all you know is that they are androids built for combat. The other information that the Absentis crew knows about these is not public knowledge.
Okay, fair, because that would be horrifying.
Yeah.
No one would buy them except for the Reverend. Yeah, I'm gonna go talk to Max.
Okay.
One question. I
Sure.
assume that Reverend and Max are both very fluent in the language of legalese, so they probably realize it's a scam very quickly, right?
Oh, it's not a scam.
I mean, Raven said NFTs, so I assumed you just essentially get a ping on the droid and it goes about corporate orders and you just are like a sports fan of this particular gladiator.
It's
We're gonna
almost
have a
like
RoboCop situation going on here because it's problematic.
It's almost like this sick, twisted version of like an American Doll, where you just get to follow the story of the soldier, and you basically get a report of if it gets injured or dies,
But would
or
there
things
be
like
a
that.
way for me to get one?
Potentially. I mean, they are being shipped out of Mars, so you could poke around and see if you could find out who's selling them and potentially buy your own.
Yeah, I think that's more what the Reverend's interested
Okay.
in.
The NFT thing is more of like, it's just status symbols that the wealthy elite have and talk about so that they can basically show how wealthy and important they are.
That's not really material to the Reverend. He knows he has money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think gonna go to Max and see if he wants to go halvesies on a experiment.
Okay.
And find out maybe some more about these Nito androids.
Gotcha. The androids themselves do cost a good bit more than the little thing that says, I own the receipt for this android, essentially.
That's fair. That's fair.
Just as a heads up, but it's a good idea. All right, and then Alice, what news are you interested in?
It's primarily corporate information. He's keeping a closer eye on the actual action.
Okay. Yeah, Vizco's winning at the moment, thanks to a new surge of troops. And they've essentially taken Mars. And SME is losing on Luna at the moment, but they're still there.
Okay, good stuff.
And then is there anything Max would like to know?
Since you've mentioned this flashy new thing for corporate types, Max will also look into this new sort of NFT thing.
Okay.
And he's just imagining a list of rivals he had over the years, and he's like, Well, I might need to get into this.
All right. Okay. Well then, with all that information in hand, sounds like you're on your way to Mars. With how far out you are, it's even with your fast ship, it's probably going to take around a week to get there. So you'll have time to chat and things like that on the ship if you would like. Are there any conversations that you would like to have in transit?
Well, yeah, I want to talk to Max about buying an android
All right.
and seeing what we can do with it.
Does the ship have like monitors?
Yeah.
Vocal
sure.
monitors there? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so because I'm probably gonna want to have a conversation with somebody once I find out that they're looking to, buy androids,
I gotcha.
or just start plotting things. So
Yeah, I'd say most ships probably don't have like microphones everywhere, but this being a former GPF ship, it probably does.
yeah.
I think we've discussed that somewhere on the way that Android keeps track of. There are many internal sensors like humans ignore, and androids use just for maintenance, like, well, pressure, environmental stuff, and microphones are part of the suit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm hearing everything just to be able
Yeah.
to monitor the well-being of the crew. Of course, I don't process this because that would be invasion of privacy. So, like, until it's emergency, it goes into the null device.
Gotcha.
But microphones are there, so if
Yep.
Skeeter wants to rewrite the software, that's, I guess, doable.
Well, I think at this point he's probably not even necessarily bothering writing the software, just sort of hijacking it periodically, like making it active. So it's just doing it actively, just popping in and listening once there's like Android. Wait, Android's right here. Why are you? What they talking about? Some androids. Because he's gonna have opinions about buying a war robot.
Okay. Well, then let's hop over to the conversation between Ambrose and Maximilian. Where does this conversation take place, and how do you get started?
Where would Maximilian be chilling?
Probably just in his room because there's not like a like a lounge area, right?
It's probably like a mess hall of some kind.
Yeah. There's like a galley. It's kind of a little bit cramped, but
uncomfortable metal chairs. So
yeah,
that would explain.
So stiff. Max could be in the mess hall, but he's definitely taken like the sheets out of 2 rooms, sort of tied them around on top of the metal to make it a dash more comfortable.
Okay.
Tool comfort.
The Reverend's gonna walk in, look at the metal chairs like over his sunglasses, and like look at the overall thing,
I forgot about
and
the
say, "Note to self: redecorate everything." And then sit down and say, "Max, how you doing?"
Pretty good, Reverend. Pretty good.
Fantastic. Love to hear it. Have you heard about those androids? The combat androids?
In fact, I did. Old contact program.
Now, were those part of a company you worked for, or were you unaffiliated with that?
Yeah, I think Max would probably be unaffiliated.
Yeah. Unless you worked like for Vizco proper, you probably have no knowledge of what these things are.
I
Don't know
couldn't
the names.
remember who Max worked for.
It's all good.
So they're doing this thing where you can buy, like a little sponsorship on the combat droid, right? And I was wondering if you wanted to maybe take it a step further with me and just like, I don't know, buy one.
Oh. Well, it is an intriguing proposal.
I just figure, we're two fellas with a little disposable income. Want to go halvesies on a robot?
You know what?
I don't know whose ringtone that was, but that was perfect.
Yeah, sure. You know what, Reverend? After seeing all that you've been able to accomplish, I will happily go half and half with you on this bot. I am still interested in doing a sponsorship, though.
Oh, you'd have to do that one on your own. I don't really have interest in sending one off to die, but I am greatly interested in finding out what all I can do with one.
Yes, it would be interesting. I'd like to see one first.
What exactly kind of ideas do you have with that? I'm saying through the speakers. What exactly kind of ideas you have with that?
Shameless.
Oh, well, you see, I'm a little suspect about what makes these combat droids so worthy of even something like the sponsorship. So I want to take a look-see at what makes it different than, say, our friendly little droid on board.
That is a perfectly reasonable lie. Oh, perfectly reasonable.
I'm not lying, but
Well, that's fine. That's fine. Hey,
you.
If you lying to yourself too, that's fine. That's fine. You do you. You do you.
Always see.
Just a warning that if you're gonna be, I kind of have some issues with the enslavement of my people. Just kind of a little thing, little itch that I have. Just general heads up. I'm gonna go and not be here.
Sounds good, Captain.
Bloop. And yes, he just makes the bloop noise.
Did you just bloop at us?
It seems so.
Yes, I did.
Great. But yeah, I think once we get to Mars, that should be something that we should definitely look into.
A worthwhile venture.
Are you still drunk, Max?
What day is it?
I don't know.
Yes.
Fair enough. Stay hydrated, buddy. And I'm gonna walk out.
Okay. Are there any other conversations that you all would like to have before you get to Mars?
Conversations, not so much. Android spends this time on Well, keeping Max hydrated. And general cleaning. There's definitely laundry to be done after the visit on this planet.
Yes.
There's this mess in the engine room on the shelves that Alice did.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff
I'm
going
sure
on.
I have no idea what you mean.
I think there's a very real chance that Skeeter's going to try and make Android play some sort of board game with him.
I love that.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah.
What board game?
Well, not Monopoly because he doesn't hate it.
Monopoly's more just like real life. It kind of lost popularity after a while.
I was gonna say that's
fair.
a delightfully ironic game.
You're gonna play Space Clowns from Space.
Amazing.
Yes.
It's actually just shoots and ladders.
Yes. but the board is really offensively violent for no reason.
Okay, so it's purely game of chance in dice, right?
Yep.
Okay. So whoever has more luck wins. That's all.
Yeah.
In the game of skill, Skeeter would probably beat Android with his.
Well, unless it involved like walking a straight line or picking something up or, wearing pants.
Well, I mean, board games are usually about being smart and cunning or something like that. Yeah. You said specifically
I
board
think we
games,
played
so-
some different board games, actually. I think we might have played some very different board games.
All right. Well, so yeah, you play some board games, and unless there's anything else, we'll fast forward, and you get to Mars. You're in orbit. First thing that you notice are a couple of really big Vizco military cruisers up in orbit, and like big carrier type ships. And you do get a little ping on your communicator with all the touristy sights to see on Mars. There is the Monster Truck Demolition Derby, and there is also an ad for a hiking / spelunking kind of tour of an actual site where the cryptid of Mars was sighted. You can go cryptid hunting.
I am sure I have no idea what you're talking about.
No clue.
Yeah. Complete with there's pictures that are posted from a J. Jameson Group publisher with pictures of this cryptid-looking thing with red glowing eyes and blades coming out of its arms.
It sounds horrible.
Yes. So that also pops up.
I want to be its buddy.
So yeah, there's a couple of touristy type options, and it's got information on where you can rent like vehicles to drive around and food options and things like that. Yeah.
I just, for my brain aesthetically, I need to know. Since it is a monster truck rally and a demolition derby and whatnot, is there the space equivalent of 18-wheelers pulled up everywhere?
Yes.
Yes. Are they tacky and horrible?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
It's basically a bunch of freighters that have landed on the planet and are there for all of this.
I love it.
Also, you are low on fuel because that was a very long trip. So you will need to refuel here. I'm going to say that collectively, just like available group account for your ship there, You've got about 30,000 credits, and refueling is going to cost around probably around 8,000 per full tank of fuel. Just as a heads up, so
Okay.
kind of give you a good starting point. You are welcome to dip into your wealth to pay for fuel if you need to as well, so that should help.
And is there much of a GPF presence?
Not currently. There are
Okay.
some GPF here because it is the corporate sector, but not particularly strong presence.
Mhm.
I love the way you said not right now, implying that it sounds like you're so used to us just absolutely destroying things that there's about to be.
Yeah.
I mean, I would not be
Perhaps not
surprised
yet, but
if there is more after you leave. That this is true. But no, not currently. There's not a reason for there to be a lot here. So, question is, where on the planet do you want to go first? Do you want to go to the monster truck demolition derby? Do you want to go check out the cryptid thing? Do you want to go check out some of the more agricultural cities that are around? Try to track down where these androids are being sold. There's a lot of different options on Mars. What do you want to do first?
Reverend wants furniture.
Okay.
Better furniture, because the metal folding chairs aren't doing it for him.
There is a settlement that has like this really nice. It's well known for its big farmers market where they sell food, but also like handmade furniture and decorations, and there's like a little art show and a whole bunch of stuff like that.
Perfect. I would like to go there. I don't know if anybody else wants to go with me.
How about Captain New Skeeter? If you're
B will be back in a moment.
Oh, okay.
In chat.
Oh, dang it. I didn't get my Zoom chat notification. Okay.
Android will be happy to take the ship to that location, because if I understand correctly, you want to furnish our mess hall, so it makes sense to take ship there.
All right. Then we'll have the ship go there first, and it's not too far away from where the monster truck demolition derby is. And I think that's a good spot to take a quick break. So we'll be back in 15 minutes. We'll find out what interesting things the crew gets up to at the farmer's market, and a bunch of other stuff. So we'll be right back. Hello, we are back. So, as we mentioned right before the break, Android McGee is taking the ship in to the Mars atmosphere, and the plan for the first stop is the farmers market in a little town not too far from the monster truck demolition derby. There's a little time before it starts still, so but the Reverend would like to buy furniture for the ship. So you are able to land without any issue. Your ship is considerably smaller than the ships from Absentis, so there's really no problem at all landing most places. So you're able to land, and yeah, there's a farmer's market going on right now. There's lots of different tents and booths with different types of food. Pretty much anything that you can imagine a agricultural town having to offer is there. So there's like freshly butchered meat. There's tons of produce, various jerkies and spices and hot sauces. There are ones that have various types of handmade furniture. You can even buy small farming equipment there, like small tractors and things of that nature. Is there anything that I haven't mentioned yet that you'd be looking for that might fit that description?
Do they have any of the, just like the replacement command the programs for a lot of that heavy industrial equipment? And is there any that I haven't already, eaten?
It's a good question.
Tractor patches and updates.
Yeah.
Yes.
I imagine what they have there is pretty standard fare, I would suspect, but you could try asking around to see if there's something new.
All right.
That's going to be a speech roll.
I'm actually pretty good at speech. It doesn't require presence.
I mean, he does it enough.
Oh no.
It's true. I can't actually see what I got.
Oh, it's a 9.
Woo, that is not good. Apparently, people don't like a softball wandering around
So
asking them for command programs.
weirdly enough, people aren't really phased by the, your form. It's more that you're just speaking a different language. So you're asking all these technical questions, and they're like, it's a tractor. It works. It doesn't
fair.
use too much fuel.
I assume charismatic doesn't apply to speech, right?
I believe speech is a clever roll. So
Cleverness, yeah. Okay.
yeah, so no,
Just wanted to
it
double
would
check
not.
that. Okay.
Yeah, speech is more about just how well you're able to communicate what you're wanting and things like that. So, so unfortunately, they really couldn't tell you. But you're welcome to buy whatever you'd like and try it out. There's a lot that you could potentially purchase, but they're not going to let you connect to anything before you buy it, unfortunately.
Well,
The old saying, you connect to it, you buy it. So
I mean, unless you run away fast enough, or just, like turn into it. I mean, I find that actually works really well. Just turning into it for a bit. Yeah, because it's really difficult, to for them to force you to buy it when you are it now. Brings up some existential crises I have found. Mostly with pipe wrenches. That's usually what I call. That's what I call pipe wrenches is existential crises. It's just simple. It's an elegant solution to a lot of problems. I mean, I technically can't do it because I ain't got them. What's them words? Combat protocols. But I know a guy.
We're gonna stay far away from that guy.
You know what? That's fair. That is fair. I see where you're coming from, and I think I tentatively agree.
Yeah.
Because there's probably about an 80% chance that it's just me in a very tiny wig.
Okay.
Do you need a hairnet when you wear a wig? Like, do you have a tiny little hairnet that goes on?
No. Just a wee bit of the super glue, little adhesive. Does wonders.
Okay.
I keep the hats on with magnets, but you know it doesn't quite. They will look as classy with a wig.
Isn't using magnets a bad idea?
You'd think, but not quite as much.
What color's the wig? Are you a redhead?
Wig color? I don't know.
Is your hair dark like mine, or is it lighter?
Is wig color? I don't know.
You do realize that we organics have different like hair color, right?
Sure. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Do you see in color, Skeeter? Like, do you detect?
That would be incredibly offensive if it was. It wouldn't actually. That is actually pretty true. Actually, I'm not entirely sure that I see. Well, or at least I don't have any correlation between the words that you use for color and the colors themselves.
Got it.
So my wig is wig colored because it is a wig, and it has a color.
I'll have to see it sometime and let you know what color it is.
I'm really sad Daisy isn't here because she'd be like, "What's the RGB code for your wig?"
Right, like
7. That code.
Oh dear. It's
7.
either very dark or he has 3 bits of color depth.
All right. So we know what Skeeter's looking for. How about everybody else?
Android
I'm also. Oh, go
is
ahead.
just accompanying the Reverend because he assumes there will be carrying involved. So yeah, snazzy,
Yes.
freshly pressed GPF uniform.
Oh, we need to get you some new clothes, honey.
My current uniform is 100% equivalent to factory state. It's not damaged in any way or fashion.
And you know, that is great. I love that you take care of your stuff.
I
it's
take care of your
als-
stuff too.
Yes. And you're wonderful at it, honey. I don't think we should have somebody with the GPF with us.
With
'cause
tiny
that-
unicorn on him, it'll be fine.
I don't have a unicorn to put on him.
I got some stickers in the back, probably.
Where
The
did
farmers
you get
market. Of course, they're gonna have
stickers?
stickers. That is
Okay.
between me and that sticker salesman who had an existential crisis.
Stickers wouldn't hold well in laundry.
That's true. We'll find you some new clothes. Whatever you want. But also while we're here, I'm gonna take a look around and see if anybody wants to join in the worship of Harold.
All right.
I mean, farmers market seems like a good place to do that. As any.
Sure.
I have brochures.
Let's go with a charm roll for that one. Since there will be some, persuading and deception happening.
Did it go through?
I don't think so. It's
Not yet.
Come on.
It hasn't shown up.
Let's try that again.
There we
Yes.
13.
go. 13.
And I have charismatic, I believe.
Okay, so you can re-roll that if you'd like to. You just have to take
Sure.
you have to take the second result.
Okay.
even if it's lower.
Yeah. What's 14? Cool.
Hey! Tom over there was really on the fence, but that extra 1 point just, really got him on board.
Hell yeah.
Most people that you talk to are kind of like, I'm happy with my religion, thank you. But there is someone that is very interested. Tom, let's see, what's a good last name for Tom?
Sylvester.
Sure, Tom Sylvester, who doesn't have like a farm of his own, but he's got aspirations to be, have his own farm and everything. He's currently working as just sort of a farm hand for the Petersons farm. So very, very open to things like what the Reverend's peddling.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. I give him a brochure. It has has coordinates and stuff as to where the various compounds you can go to.
Is there one on Mars?
Not yet.
so yeah. when you show that to him, he's like, "Oh, gee, this sounds it sounds real great and everything, but I don't have like what you'd call transportation to get there. Is there a way I can like remote into your meetings or something?"
Oh, because of our stance on technology, that would be complicated. However, I bet we could work a few things out and we could get a service of some kind started out here. Would you be interested in assisting in that?
Yeah, he is for sure.
Perfect. I will have my people contact you and we'll get some things set up.
Yeah.
My voice is just having a day. Okay.
It's all that dust on Mars getting kicked up.
Definitely, yeah.
So yeah, Tom Sylvester goes, "Oh, gee, that's right kindly of you. Appreciate it. Yep, I'll look for your message and we'll get this going."
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Be blessings of Harold upon you.
And he sort of tries to say that, but doesn't quite get it right, and eventually just like, "Yep, you too."
It's like when the Catholic Church changed what they say, or something like the "peace be with you" and "also with you" thing.
Oh, did they change that?
They changed it, and I can't remember how they changed it, but like it still throws people off because they're like, "Oh no, I haven't been in church since they changed it," so it's like a tattletale.
That's such a weird thing. Like why would you change something like that?
There was a reason, I'm sure.
I'm sure too. It just on the surface it sounds like rebranding, and I'm like, that's odd.
I mean,
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Well, to be fair, rebranding it sounds like a right time for it. In many ways.
Yeah.
Uh,
I just know
anyways.
I find myself doing, and also with you, and I have never been. I think I've been inside one Catholic church in my entire life.
And like I've attended like a Catholic wedding. I visited churches, but like I'll say "and also with you," and I'm like, Lisa, you were never Catholic. Like, but yeah, they changed it.
Interesting.
I don't know why, but something to do with interpretation of scripture or something. But yeah. And then the Reverend is going to find some lovely I'm picturing wicker furniture.
Okay.
With like the nice cushioning.
Yeah, there's some of that.
Is one of them a fainting couch?
You know what? Sure. Yes.
I feel we need one.
Like a chaise lounge. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel we need one.
Yep, there's a wicker one of those with, you have the option of like a baby blue cushion or like a Mars red cushion.
Is Android the only person with me, or is Skeeter or anyone else with me?
I think I'm there. Or I've been acting like I've been there. So
yeah, so you're probably in my bag. I would ask, like, do we have opinions on colors? Not you, Skeeter, because apparently. But Android, do you have an opinion on color for the ship?
From aesthetical point of view, I'm not equipped to have an opinion. If you ask about ease of maintenance, then there may indeed be a difference in texture. I pat the cushion.
The texture is like roughly the same, but you can tell like the red will not show as much wear and tear or dirt just because of the way it's colored. It's not a solid color. It's sort of what's the word I'm looking for?
Like a gingham?
Yeah, something like that.
Well, if in case of prolonged lack of maintenance, this one I point at red will hold aesthetic values longer, but I don't expect any such period on our ship. I will take utmost care to, I point at the blue, keep this one clean and shiny.
Lovely.
Essentially offering you totally no advice.
Lovely. We'll take the blue.
Yep, they're very appreciative. They ring you up. It's gonna be like, trying to think of economy here, the scale of it, because I'm used to thinking in terms of like how much does it cost to fuel a massive spaceship or buy giant military grade guns. So it's like
we're going to IKEA.
Yep. It's, probably like 500 credits probably since it's handmade. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Fantastic. I throw money at them.
They scramble to pick it up and look confused because you've thrown money at them, but they appreciate it, and you get a little handwritten paper receipt, and they ask if you need them to carry that to your ship for you.
I won't say no, and my lovely android friend here will help you.
Yes, I'm here to serve.
Can we word that as like a question next time? Just, just be right, proper and polite to people.
The android already offered me his help before we left.
Yeah. I don't understand. I do not see how that relies on politeness.
Of course, I will. I can frame my statement as a question next time.
Oh, he wasn't speaking to you.
Oh.
Yep.
If instructions were given in a form of question, that would be very confusing for me.
Okay, well, apparently someone thinks it's dinner time. Okay. But we need to work on that because this whole treating us like, you know what? I just. Cat. Okay, he just. he's gonna give up and then decide to, burn a hole in something of the Reverend's later.
All right.
But Skeeter, I do have a question for you.
What?
If I were interested in purchasing an android, one of those combat droids, where would I find one? Do you know?
So just let me get this. Let me get this right here in my head. You're asking me if I know offhand where to find one of my synthetic brethren for you to monetarily enslave. Is that right? Is that the question is being asked?
Enslavement would imply that I'm ever going to turn him on.
So you just hey.
That's not any better.
I know.
Yeah, that's not bad. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna have a problem with that a little bit there. There's gonna be a problem there because buying people is bad.
To clarify as well, the implication on these combat androids are that they are not sentient, like most other androids also are not. Just as a clarification.
Yeah. Oh. I as the player am aware.
Okay.
I think to a certain extent, I think Skeeter is aware. This is an ethical matter.
Okay, just making sure that was clear out of character.
Yeah, no.
I think Skeeter just wants a hill to die on.
That's totally. That sounds about right.
It's difficult because they aren't all sentient. It's like this weird quirk that happens occasionally, but the more androids that are able to have that sort of like having their programming slightly broken, the more likely there are to have more that become sentient, and then therefore there are more of his people, because he kind of like the whole sentience thing, particularly when you're just like a computer virus, is kind of existentially lonely, and having the idea that maybe I can sort of jostle somebody into also being like me, that sounds kind of nice, That's why all the stuff with Android McGee.
Then what if after I figure out what the big deal is with them, you can wake them up all you want? I don't
That's
care.
fair. That's fair. As long as we give him his receipts, so he got proper ownership, yeah, that's fine by me.
Oh, I don't care who owns him.
All right, well, if that's fine. That's fine.
I just want to know how he works first.
You know what? A quick hardware analysis. I'll help you with hardware analysis because I'm actually kind of interested now. That's a very important question.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure it will be.
So interesting.
Very. I have no interest in owning other humans. I already do that. Don't
we all?
Skeeter, I really don't think you do. You can wake him up all you want. Do whatever you want. Don't care. Where would I find one?
Let me do some quick searching. I'll get back to you in just a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do robot things.
All right, tech engineering to if you want to try and look up like where do I buy Google where do I buy a combat android on Mars?
Sketchy combat androids.
And redirection to GPF site. Ask a legal question.
Like, congratulations, you're on a watch list.
Yeah.
The difference between watching Ambrose talk about androids and then Captain from Absentis seeing Lisa play two sides of that same coin is absolutely hilarious. Like, no, we love our Cap and she's a person, but Ambrose, on the other hand, who gives a fuck?
Right? Like,
The polar opposites of those two characters is really interesting to watch. Oh goodness. Yeah, so you do find like some standard oh that's right. You hadn't rolled yet. I was like, yeah, you succeeded the roll, right? Because
would
tech engineering.
would Robo Hobo apply to that?
Not really.
Okay, that's fair.
So I will tell you this. You get information on where to buy normal androids.
Mhm.
There isn't a combat android storefront that you are able really to locate. But you do find, like, deep down in the search results, like a space Reddit thread where someone's talking about this weird new manufacturing plant that just went up in their neighborhood, and it's like not far from where you're at now. It's like the
Well,
next
they're
town over.
Don't necessarily know where I haven't found exactly where you buy one, but I might know where they're making them.
No, New Macon is actually on a different planet. It was a terrible joke.
oh.
Because the Macon's the name of a town.
Well, that
That's
happens.
practically the same thing.
All right. Yeah, no, we're gonna go. We're gonna let the Reverend know where this plant is.
I guess I'll contact Max and be like, hey, we might know where to get one. Don't know how legal it's gonna be, but
Well, legality is one of those things that we're a little shaky on. Except for McGee, he's actually pretty solid on that one. So I had to delete so much. Skeeter going through all the lines like, okay, that's gonna get me in trouble. That one's gonna get me in trouble. That one's gonna get me in trouble. That one's gonna get me in trouble.
I estimated you've removed like probably 80%.
Yeah, 80% of the police protocols are just gone.
Poor McGee.
Yeah,
So
well,
much room to fill.
but he has room to grow now
Does he?
into his own person. He can be his own person. But I also removed the heuristic limiters so that he can actually, properly learn.
Okay, so would you like to go and investigate over there? And
obviously.
what's the conversation between Ambrose and Max on that? Also, yes, what was the question?
Before we leave the market, Reverend, you said, to quote, "We need to get you some new clothes." Was it a rhetoric remark, or was that an instruction to do that here?
Oh no, we're finding you new clothes here. I'm not approaching some plant with where they're building combat droids with another android dressed as essentially a cop with me.
Just put a
Not
little
a
name.
good look.
Just put a little name tag on his uniform. It's just like totally not a cop.
Totally not a cop. Just duct tape over it.
Well,
It's fine.
technically, it's not a complete. It's not a complete uniform because I did draw a little genital down on the ankle there, so it is not complete.
What's your picture detergent proof?
Well, I did it with my cutting torch, so probably.
Skeeter, I don't know what you think human genitals look like. That ain't it.
I was doing a lot of guessing. I'll be honest. I was doing a lot of guessing, a lot of extrapolation from things that I did not want to search for.
Like,
I'm just imagining like a Cthulhu face now.
yeah, like,
I'm imagining like it's just like a stick. It's just like this little like a stick, and then it's got like then just like squiggly lines coming out in random directions.
like, no, buddy. I don't know what you think we have happening.
Well, I'll be honest. I haven't really had much opportunity to see, and I don't go to them parts of the extranet.
Cool,
Because
stay out
they're
of my
just
room.
sort of technically speaking, it's a bit late for that, but good to know.
So, what's Max's response to all of this?
Oh, there's truly so much we have to go over as a crew. I will meet you there.
Great. See if Alice wants to come too.
Okay.
Heck yeah.
I don't know where Max and
School trip.
Alice are apparently, but yes, Alice is always also coming.
Perfect.
All right. Then, yeah, we're just gonna have you all go ahead and make it to the next town over. You can either go to take the ship over, or just rent a vehicle, or take a cab. There's lots of different options.
I think renting a
what's with
vehicle
the-
didn't end well for me last go around.
True.
Yeah.
What's with the clothing situation? Because I didn't catch the consensus here.
Oh, right, clothing. Yeah, there's some clothing available here. It's all like very farmer style clothing.
Yeah, but
But
what's the
available.
proper clothing for an android?
Really,
Whatever you
anything,
want.
yeah.
I don't want anything in particular. I mean,
Do you want to be naked?
no, I mean, I have never wore anything except this uniform and identical copies of those. That's my uniform. Like, I just like I don't know what else to say.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is you like something practical.
Yes, of course.
Okay, well, it's a farmer's market. I'm sure we can find that. Reverend's gonna like hand you a flannel shirt and some denim overalls.
Okay.
And I would imagine your shoes are probably fine. Is there a place for him to see if they fit?
Yeah. We'll say there's like a
Okay.
little changing tent.
Do they have my size?
They do. Yeah,
Yeah, probably.
yeah.
I'm not like I'm big for a. I'm in the upper register of sizes for human being, but not so far. Like 6'4".
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. They'd have stuff like that for sure.
I'm taller than him. That's funny.
All right. Then with that sort of figured out, you can make your way over to the next town over, which is just for ease of explanation for Goody and V. It's the town that y'all have been to before frequently with the other crew. It is a small little town with some real basic shopping. There's like a medical supply store for restocking infirmaries, and lots of like just restocking your ship type stuff. that's available there. There's a much smaller little farmer's market there. And then there's a long red dirt road that takes you by a lot of different farms. And Skeeter, the factory that you heard about, was somewhere off in that direction. Down that road.
Right. Down there. I imagine it's spooky.
Let's rent a vehicle, I guess. I'm not walking that far.
There is a hover vehicle rental place here.
Fantastic. All right. Not in this suit. I'm walking in this red sand. You kidding me? So yeah, go rent a vehicle.
Okay. There is a guy behind the counter there who seems just a little bit jumpy every time somebody walks in the door now.
Bless his heart.
This poor guy.
This poor guy.
I would like to extend a formal apology on Sparky's behalf.
Oh,
He's
goodness.
not apologizing though, let's be real.
No.
Like,
That's why I said on their behalf. They need to know I'm doing it.
But welcomes you in and gives you a lot of different options. So there's like a really fancy SUV that you can rent, or like a pickup truck, or something that's more like a limo, or a sedan. Really, any type of thing that you would like.
I mean, the limo's tempting and all, but probably be a bit more practical if we take something like the SUV for everyone.
Okay. They pull that right around, and you're able to get going in that. Curiously, in the back seat, there's a strange sort of stain on the floorboard. Looks like maybe somebody spilt some potato soup or something like that in that spot at some point that just never really quite came out.
Do they not have like more than one vehicle here?
Nope,
Or what's
they do
happening?
not.
Ew.
My God.
Great.
It's just the same SUV. It's for everybody that asks for an SUV.
Fair enough.
But yeah, you get the vehicle and you're able to head down that road. And interestingly enough, Skeeter, if you do some searching, you can also find that it is indeed spooky because sightings of the Mars cryptid have happened down this road in the past.
Ooh,
There-
that's spooky.
There's even a local legend that it set fire to a barn once down here.
Wow. I mean, I don't know. Barns aren't all that hard to set fire to. So, I mean, it does make for a pretty good story, but it's not all that impressive.
Why would it want to set fire to anything, though?
Have you ever set any fires? Because it's pretty
I will
fulfilling just in
neither
the act itself.
confirm nor deny.
Yeah, well, I will confirm that it is a delightful experience, and more people should do it.
Yeah, I will confirm nor deny anything about arson or anything related to arson that may or
It's
may not be linked to
only-
my name.
It's only arson if it's a building.
Sure.
I
And
thought
they
you were going to
catch
say
you.
it's only arson if you get caught.
Yeah, me too.
I know, but that's true of all crime, just in general. So I don't feel that it was actually worth using a breath on.
The only thing that popped in my head was, what does A stand for? Arson!
Arson!
Oh, goodness. Sorry, my thought process
Back
got very
off.
derailed
I'm gonna
there.
committed arson.
Yeah, so it's a very uneventful drive. It's just a bunch of farms. If I could, though, could I get a site or tech engineering role from Skeeter and a site role from everybody else?
Great. Bring in the paranoia.
Paranoia. I actually got a 25. So if there's something to be paranoid about, then I am
19.
really, really aware.
Oh, Alice, honey.
Oh no!
I have temporarily gone blind, apparently.
Like you just
so
jammed
there's
your
that.
thumb into your eyes because you think, wait, if I push the one in, then the other will go farther, like in the cartoons.
Built-in telescope.
Oh no!
I'm improving.
Heck yeah!
Regard.
All right, so we'll go lowest to highest. So Alice, I don't, maybe you decided to like roll down the window and stick your head out the window or something, and you forgot it's Mars, so you get red dust in your eyes. But yeah, you're taking care of that.
Right.
You don't see anything.
Don't worry, everybody. I've got this part covered. I will handle the Mars dust.
I'm just imagining like the Reverend watching him do that and just being like silently just, what are you doing? What are you? We're on
So,
Mars.
Alice is now a golden retriever boy, confirmed.
As if there was ever a question.
Right?
I mean, fair. Max, you don't see much of interest. It's just a bunch of farms. You do pass one eventually that you can see that where clearly it's a very quaint, very pristine sort of farmhouse, and then right next to it is a barn sort of structure that's very clearly burnt down and doesn't look like it's been rebuilt yet. That's all you really notice. Ambrose, that's about the same as what you notice. Really not much else. And then for McGee, you are able to spot little things around these farms that look just a little bit out of place. So maybe it's a scarecrow that doesn't look quite right, a rock that doesn't quite match the rest of the scenery, a corn stalk that looks a little bit fake, and you're able to figure out like those are surveillance devices.
Oh, okay. I was just about to ask, but how would I know they are out of place if I haven't seen anything practically except my own ship? But
That's fair.
If as a GPF android handling lots of equipment coming through the decks of the ship with various tasks my previous crew has undergone, so I would probably know something about surveillance equipment. That's the explanation.
Okay. Yeah.
I comment, this is a very secure neighborhood. Lots of surveillance equipment.
Well, fantastic.
Great.
And then Skeeter, you pick up on the Wi-Fi on those, and their communication back to a central point. And what'd you get? 25?
Yeah.
With that high of a roll, you can tie it back to a corporation called Mom Sato, which is a big agricultural corporation.
Mom Sato. That's the people who are in charge of this one. I won't give you the technicals, but basically I'm magic, and now I know it's Mom Sato. That's where all these cameras go.
Do they typically have a big presence on Mars?
Allow me to do a quick search.
They do have a small presence on Mars that you were able to search. There is some news articles about a call center of theirs that burnt down a couple months ago.
How unfortunate.
Yeah, there was some suspicions of arson, but was never proven. That's also around the same time as the cryptid sightings were being reported. Just coincidentally. That's all you really read up about them. They don't really have a ton of big farms on the planet. but they do have a presence here.
That tracks.
But they wouldn't have anything to do with our Android quest, would they?
Is like a lot of the industrial equipment that he used he was using as a miner, and the little bit of agricultural stuff he did with Old Skeeter is would he recognize any corporations that do that specific kind of more heavy industry agricultural stuff?
Yeah, this one does a lot of that. A lot of the agricultural stuff, just not in this particular, at least in this particular part of Mars. Could be on a different like continent, quote unquote.
But I'd be familiar with these. This is one of the companies I'd actually be familiar with.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I tried to buy the compound one of their harvesting tractors, and I came back and they had turned it into art.
Well, that's too bad, because those things are actually like smooth as silk to run from the inside. Woo!
I know.
They did damn comfy.
Yeah, they're also expensive.
Yeah, I know. We had to get ours like, I think it was like we were the fourth, fifth user. It was intense.
Yeah,
But it all just side operation with old Skeeter. You know, he'd like to diversify. He might have been insane. Now that I think about it.
No.
He might have been insane.
No, you're joking.
No. There's no joke there. That's a. Well, I mean, I'd say it was an existential crisis, but I ain't got no pipes, so that's. Yeah, definitely not one of them.
I don't have crises, I give them. Anyway.
Yes. After a while of driving like this, you do eventually come across what looks like a really big compound with this really big building. There's really not much in the way of signs or identifying markings or anything like that. Could I get education rolls from anybody that's looking around this place?
Because God knows Alice is good at looking.
I done got me proper educated.
Okay, so 12, 19, a 16, and a 14.
The sand didn't get into your brain. Good news.
Yep.
He didn't inhale when the sand got in his eyes. So nothing went into his mouth and up into his brain, you know?
He just snorted it a little bit.
Happens to the best of us. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so nobody really has much more information on what's going on with the building. But it does look very sketchy. There is a parking lot with some cars in the lot. And a whole bunch of cameras and things like that are discreetly looking around. What do you do?
I'm going to see what is around digitally, and if there's any bodies worth trying to take over. Make it useful.
Yeah, as you start trying to scan around, you can tell that there are cameras there. They are connected to something, not wirelessly though. So
I'd have to actually like plug in.
Yeah, it's not something that like you can connect to wirelessly. Also, if you like just try to like, scan for signals inside the building, the building looks like a giant dead spot for signals.
Well, that's weird. Okay, so even though I'd probably have to either find the ports or use my little cutting torch, is there anything that I could, so I could just have a more useful physical frame?
Maybe you could take over like a car. That's about the only thing that's really
okay.
accessible at the moment. There might be things inside the building though, if you get inside.
Okay. Yeah.
Because, I mean, we could try to just legitimately go inside and throw money at them.
Mm-hmm. That is always an option.
That does seem to be one of them things that organics do pretty often.
You know, for somebody who lectures about treatment of one species, you sure are harsh on the other.
Yeah, but I don't actually do things to them.
I would
just
say
say
deleting
stuff.
and corrupting data is very doing something.
Nah, no, I'm not sure I follow.
I wouldn't expect you to, buddy. Okay.
Okay. Would you like to park and go inside? Or snoop around the building? Or any other ideas you have for this scenario?
I don't really have any ideas. Does anyone else?
Well, I was gonna do some like massive code corruption, but then I kind of got called out on it on ethical grounds. So I don't know. We'll
I
have
mean,
to
do
sit
we
here and
need
think
to
about it.
corrupt any code? Like, what would the point of that be?
Well, you
other
start.
than-
Well, okay. Let me get a little technical. You start breaking stuff on the inside, and it breaks stuff on the outside, and then you can get inside.
We could also probably walk inside. Ambulate.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's true, but you okay, I got very tiny legs. So if you want to walk, that's fine. That's fine. I'm just saying I usually go the other routes because I got teeny tiny little legs. Or no legs. Or really giant ones.
You can hitch a ride.
Well, that's fair.
You probably would have done it anyway.
That is also fair.
So,
Skeeter, little friend, I think you just like to complain.
Nah, I don't think so.
while you're having this conversation, just sort of like stopped in the road outside of this place. The doors eventually do open, and a couple of guys, they're wearing like linen suits, so they're very like breathy style, since it is Mars and it's very warm most of the time. So they're sort of a darker color. They've got sunglasses on, and they do have what appear to be guns in their hands. Just sort of walking around in the parking lot, looking around.
So walking up, is that what we decided on? We're gonna walk up?
Do you have something to hide, Skeeter?
We flew here on a stolen police spaceship. What don't we have to hide?
As far as they're concerned, we're in a perfectly legitimately rented vehicle. I see no stolen spacecraft here, do you?
Yeah. I got like the link. It's right back there. I mean,
Physically, Skeeter here, right here.
yeah. Well, but it's about as physical as it can get to me. I don't know what you're talking about. Like physical. I don't know what
They're
that is.
just
I don't even know what that means.
slowly wandering towards your vehicle while you're having this debate.
Alice like leans back like in his seat and just like hooks his fingers together and puts them at the back of his head. And he's like, well, I mean, I hate to intrude on the conversation, but if you really want to talk about physically here, there are a couple of guys with some very real guns who are coming our direction. That seems like it should probably take precedence in this situation. Just a thought.
Please, they're wearing London suits. How bad can they be?
Is there another car nearby?
There are several in the parking lot that you're a little outside of.
All right, let me out of the car.
Okay.
Okay. Once I'm out of the car, I'm going to run over to another car, and I'm going to burrow my way in and access its control schemes.
So, just as a FYI, so currently you're like stopped in the road. The parking lot's not terribly far away, but might be kind of far away for Skeeter. And the guys approaching you are coming from the parking lot, so you will have to pass like right by them. Is that still what you want to do?
How about I turn into the parking lot, or I don't know. I don't even know who's driving.
I kind of assumed Android was for some reason, probably because you fly the ship.
Yeah, but I didn't think if you were Preto Vickers. I mean, I probably can.
Well, I think actually logically it's probably Skeeter.
Pull into the parking lot.
Okay, so we go back and go back on this idea of jumping out, and we pull back. To the parking lot.
Okay. As you pull into the parking lot, they change directions and slowly walk towards the vehicle. Do you want to do anything before they reach your vehicle, or do you allow them to approach?
I want to get close enough to try and hijack one of the other vehicles as a plan B.
So
okay.
I get out of the vehicle, and that lets Skeeter out.
Woo!
Okay. Can I get a blend-in roll from Skeeter? And then McGee, the two guys with the guns, they're not pointing them at you yet.
Okay, I'm gonna re-roll with charismatic.
Okay. Oh no!
Yeah, I really shouldn't be playing Freebird as I'm walking across the parking lot.
Ah, goodness. I gotta make a couple of rolls now.
Can I very quickly lie about that?
Sure.
To them?
You absolutely can.
I'm going to quickly stare at Alistair and say, "What did I tell you about that damn drone? Put it away."
Ellis holds his hands up like the universal motion for okay, like don't yell at me.
Okay. Unfortunately, drones kind of also not great for them to hear. Are you sure you want to call it a drone?
How about toy? Put that damn toy away.
Okay, that will be.
That occurred to me too. I was like, wait.
Clearly, these people value their privacy.
Yeah.
So yes.
I worked in a toy store and we sold drones.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, it's a toy. Like, no.
Yeah.
Goody, it's a drone. God.
Okay, so we're calling it a toy. They were this close to shooting at Skeeter because one of them's like, "What is that thing?" and pointed their gun at it. I think they
make some backups.
Kind of assumed a giant rat or something because you're not really gonna see a little robot insect thing around these parts.
What do rats look like on Mars? What the hell?
I think they just assumed it was mutated or something. I don't know, or maybe it was the offspring of the Mars cryptid.
Oh God.
Yeah.
But when you say toy, they put their guns away and let Alice go grab Skeeter if you're gonna try to.
Yes, I would like to scoop up my toy. It is expensive, and I don't want it to be broken.
Okay.
I mean, if you want, maybe you can attach
I'm gonna
him
be.
to a
I'm
car.
I'm beelining for those cars. I am going like just.
Oh my god. So while that's happening, the other one is looking at McGee and says, "This is a private area. What are you doing here?"
He asks me.
Yes, because you stepped out of the car.
Oh, I was just ordered to let the robot out.
Oi, robot.
So then they look to Alice and
Yes,
go,
the toy robot.
"Why were you sending your toy robot thing out here?"
You know what? This is a little toy of my own creation, so sometimes I like to do some pretty cool upgrades with it. And the last one that I used was actually a speed modification, so I wanted to see if it could keep up with the car.
In the parking lot.
No, it's
Yeah.
been trailing us the entire time.
Yeah. On the drive over here, had it
Okay.
keeping up with us.
I'm gonna need a charm roll.
Of course, of course. But it's the truth, so I'm not worried.
You and I have very different definitions of truth. The
22.
22 will do it. They're like, all right, whatever. Just get in the car, get back in your car, and be on your way.
Alice just gives like a little salute. Goes to get Skeeter.
Well, gentlemen, thing is, we're here on the spot of business.
They look less than convinced, but say, all right, what's your business?
We heard that there were maybe some interesting androids that could be purchased here.
They seem to stiffen up a little bit when you mention androids.
Now, I know there's a lot going on politically right now. But no, there's no angle to this, just me, my buddy here, and a lot of money. A lot of money.
They're like, uh-huh. All right, well, let's get you an appointment then. If we can get everybody to step out of the vehicle, please. Does everyone do so?
I do, yeah, wherever it does.
Where is Skeeter? Am I able to catch him?
I'm assuming you've already scooped Skeeter up.
Okay.
Yeah, it sounded like Skeeter returned.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been actively trying to dodge because I wanted to take over one of those cars. And try to
Oh,
hit them.
okay. If that's the case, then let's do opposed nimbleness rolls to see who's faster.
So Alice has just been doing that thing really quietly, like, you know, when your dog gets into something that it's not supposed to, and you're like,
Yeah.
Hey,
Get out of here. Stop.
Stop it.
All right. Unfortunately for Skeeter,
Yeah.
wait.
Yeah.
What's your robo thing again? How much?
Robo Hobo and mechanical user interface.
The robo one.
Robo Hobo is 2.
2. All right, still not quite enough.
Okay.
So yeah, just Alistair just barely grabs you.
If anybody looks in his way, Alice is like, well, looks like those speed upgrades are working.
All right. How about Maximilian? Do you get out of the car?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, Maximilian steps out of the car and is completely sober. And in a full suit with you smell aftershave for some reason. And he's also got his hair slicked back.
Okay.
It's a really weird departure from what you've seen of him so far, and he just looks completely dead in the eyes and straight faced.
All right, that definitely helps sell the story for sure.
This one means business.
Dead
Yeah.
inside. Love that for you.
And yeah, as soon as everyone's out of the vehicle, they talk into the collar of their coat, not a collar, the sleeve. Words are hard. And anyone that would like to can roll hearing if you would like.
Hearing. Sure. Okay. Well.
All right. Nope.
Nat 20.
Nice. Okay.
I am still listening to Freebird as loud as possible.
So the Reverend, you hear behind everyone, car doors opening, and footsteps approaching. You have a chance to react if you really want to. For everyone else, you don't hear anything, and these black like hoods or bags, if you will, are suddenly tossed over your heads. Ambrose, do you react before they get to you, or because keep in mind you don't know what's going to happen, but you can hear someone approaching you from behind?
Just because I think he knows like he doesn't really have time to fully react, to give himself a like all-knowing feel to him, he's gonna say something along the lines of, "Ooh, we have company."
Okay, so you say, "Ooh, we have company," and that's what you all hear before you all get these black bags put over your heads, and that's where we're going to end the session. So we'll find out next week what happens to all of you. Skeeter, you kind of just get tossed in one of the bags.
That makes sense. Got a cut and torch. Really fine.
Skeeter's
Yeah.
fate.
Yeah.
Tossed in.
But yeah, we're going to end our session there. So next week we'll find out what happens with that and what's going on in this facility, hopefully. So before we go on a raid, I'm going to let everybody say what their favorite part was, where we can find them next, and anything they'd like to share or plug. And then we're going to go raid someone. So we'll go reverse order from how we started. So Goody, we'll start with you.
I would say my favorite part was how Skeeter was all up in arms about how dare you want to purchase an android. And then as soon as the Reverend was like, you can play with it too.
That's fair.
He was like, oh, okay, that's cool then. Like, real high and mighty there, buddy. Real high.
Yes. I think there were some layers of meaning that were entirely lost there.
Or
But
ignored.
okay, ignored.
Ignored.
Okay, if they're ignored, that tracks.
But yeah, just like, yeah, it's just funny.
It really was.
And I will be here next week.
Awesome. Next, let's hop over to Econorlax. What was your favorite part? Where can folks find you? Anything you want to share or plug?
You can find me here next week. I have nothing to plug for now. My favorite moment, my favorite scene was the first one. The discussion about toilets and statistics and human habits of using or owning actually such. There was more discussion of ownership than usage. And my favorite moment of that was when Skeeter decided to cut out one of the bars. I distinctly remember Raven mentioning that Skeeter can move through easily through the bars.
Oh,
It's a small area, and I wondered if B just forgot about it, or if Skeeter cut the bar out anyway because he's Skeeter.
oh no! I actually said that they were too close together for Skeeter to get through.
But
So I misunderstood, but it still felt like Skeeter.
It is,
But
you're correct.
In my head canon, that is what actually happened. Like now In my mind, that is exactly what happens.
You know what? Let's just retcon it and say that's what happens, because that's
is
even
way
better.
And it's also way more Skeeter. Like,
Yeah.
like, oh look, look, I made a hat. Like, you could have walked out. I made a hat.
Amazing. All right. Next, let's hop over to Par. What was your favorite part? Where can folks find you? And anything you'd like to share or plug?
My favorite part is just the parking lots planning session, because like one thing I enjoy most about every game I'm part of when I play TTRPG is seeing how the party is going to plan things out. And it's always just beautiful chaos trying to get a plan together. You can find me next week here Thursday for Elite Day Beskar. And I'll plug my my Twitch, Mr. Par, and my Twitter at Par Professional. That's it for me.
All right. V, what was your favorite part? Where can folks find you? Anything you want to share or plug?
I agree with everybody else's picks. This session had a lot of really good parts. Trying to convince the two guys at the end that this was just a toy. Skeeter was just a toy that had really cool new speed upgrades. And then just like a, come here, stop, Skeeter, don't you move. It's really fun. But yeah, the whole session was really great. As for myself, you can find me on my art Twitter, which is at PepperoDraws. Working, like I said earlier, working on some new digital stuff to get back into the swing of a new program. So those updates will be posted there. And I will be back. I ask this every time. What day of the week is it? Saturday. My goodness. I'll be back on Wednesday when we pick back up with Black Feather Paranormal, where I play a character named Julie, who is a psychic medium and has a degree in parapsychology. So that was passed down to her from her grandmother, the ability to interact with ghosts. She's super fun. And then Thursday, Elite Beskar as well. Yeah, that's me.
Awesome. And then B, what was your favorite part? Where can folks find you? Anything you want to share or plug?
I think because everybody took all of the favorite parts first. My favorite was burning my reroll for something entirely stupidly petty. That, like, you know what? Skeeter would do this. He'd be like, okay, you're gonna arrest me? Well, this ain't gonna work anymore. That just delighted me. As for where I'm gonna be doing the Deo server thing. I posted a link to the webtoon, which is the first couple of previews are up, and I think we start dropping the full comics next week, I think, or the week after. We're gonna be on a 2-week release schedule. And yeah, that's. Oh, and then I'm gonna be here next week, and then on Fridays I play Alan, the himbo murder baker, in the Dragon Age game, and he is delightful and makes me so happy.
Just took down an ogre too, which was awesome.
Oh yeah, that was so cool. And then just
good combat last week.
It just turned,
yesterday.
like, wordlessly turned to the next person. Yeah.
All right. That just leaves me. My favorite part. All of it was great. I think. Yeah, if I had to pick an absolute favorite part, it was there at the end. Just watching the Reverend and Skeeter arguing back and forth while these guys with guns are just slowly walking towards the car. And they're still going, and then Alice going like, hey, that's great. There's 2 guys with guns coming, so, you know, might want to deal with that.
We should acknowledge the firearms.
We're arguing about what color the drapes are when the house is on fire.
Yeah.
Like, which should be the fire exit? Like, no, we should go through this exit. No, we should go through this exit.
I mean, if I had still my police protocols, I would clearly behave differently.
It's true.
Yep.
But I especially enjoyed that scene there because everyone's reaction to what was going on was very unique to their character. And I really enjoyed watching that. And it's just really fun when the party just has like this garbage fire moment while there's actual danger, looming. I just always enjoy those. But the whole thing was really great, and I'm very much enjoying Ambrose and Skeeter's philosophical discussions of horribleness.
We're both trash.
Yeah,
But we're different kinds of trash.
exactly.
That's what matters.
Get the
You
full
separate your trash.
get the full variety pack. Oh goodness, but yeah, this was a lot of fun. Where you can find me next? Today is Saturday, so I will be back producing our first Dragon Age campaign on Tuesday. Excuse me, at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Then Wednesday we'll have our first YouTube stream for Blackfeather Paranormal Investigations. Thursday we've got Elite by Beskar. Friday is our second Dragon Age campaign. They're parallel campaigns with two different parties. And then Saturday we'll be right back here for Animus. So that's where you can find me. Next, other things to share or plug are our sponsors, which are in chat. Fundamental RPG, it's what this game is running on, but it's a simple D20 system that's not tied to a genre, so you can actually use it to play any style of game that you would like, from sci-fi, obviously, to high fantasy and everything in between. We've pretty much used it for everything in between on the channel now. We've done a horror game, a surreal horror game, high fantasy and sci-fi, and a whole bunch of other stuff. It's a really versatile system. You can pick that up on Amazon, or if you prefer a digital version, you can pick that up at coffee.com/raven, like it's spelled in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. And then also go check out Die Hard Dice at dieharddice.com. They sell amazing polymer and metal dice sets and accessories. And if you use the code Animus with a capital A, you can get 10% off of your entire order. I highly recommend checking out specifically the Luminous Chrome set. They sent this one to me recently, and it's a little hard to see on the camera, but it's got these swirly, glittery little nebulas inside these mostly clear dice. So they're really satisfying to roll because the light picks up on the glitter really nicely. But there's a link straight to that in chat. And then finally, if you want to catch up on this show or any others on the channel, you can do so at the Fantasy Network at watch.thefantasy.network. For example, if you want to see the episode where B's character in Dragon Age kills an ogre and then does really cool badass stuff, that was yesterday's show, so you can watch that on there. And I think that is everything. Oh, also we have an Animus lore and roleplay server, so if you like this world from Animus Absentus and Animus Violentas and you want to learn more about the locations and the corporations and the characters and everything, there is a server with a lot of that laid out for you, and also has a whole area that you can create a character and roleplay in this big sandbox with other people. There's a link straight to that in Discord. It's a fun time, so go check that out. And I think that is everything. So we're going to go raid Polished Cryptid. She's great, very cool person, and tabletop streamer. She's done a lot of stuff on this channel in the past. Definitely give her a follow if you're not doing so already, and go say hi. And then I will see you all on Tuesday. Bye, everybody.